So let me get this straight. The short man who cheated on his wife and turned around and used her pain and her trauma to profit by doing a comedy tour is talking about cancel culture? Who would have thought? Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on. Girl, I might as well have the black V-neck on, but it's not even worth it because honestly, Kevin Hart looks like a short sleeve black V-neck. I am so tired of talking about cancel culture. I am so tired and exhausted by celebrities like Kevin Hart who continuously bring up cancel culture. Continuously bring it up as if they have been affected by it and are pissed off and angry about it and just don't understand that folks can't be perfect. They can't be funny, they can't do these things, only to respond to the criticism by sharing how much money they've made over the last couple of years during their alleged cancellation. The only thing that needs to be canceled is your marriage, and you already did that by cheating on your wife and doing other things that you tried to cover up. Let me tell you something. I'm sick of folks like Kevin Hart and all these other celebrities constantly coming out, Chris Rock too, coming out saying cancel culture is keeping us from making jokes and what y'all want is to continuously to shit on marginalized folks and make jokes about stuff like that. You all are not real comedians. Y'all are not comedians, y'all are not funny. Y'all are not able to adapt to the times. Y'all are not able to realize that, you know what, maybe that stuff I said was problematic. Maybe those things were, a comedian is able to adapt to the times and change and adapt and progress. Y'all are unable to do that. What y'all have been doing is just being loud, making white folks laugh by tap dancing and doing little cute cut movies or whatever. Kevin Hart, you stopped being funny a long time ago, sis. You haven't been funny. Like, yes, you selling out and you doing that because you out here tap dancing and doing stuff for white folks. That don't mean that it's good. Majority of the folks who are watching and engaging in your content, your movies and stuff, are white folks. Black folks been stopped finding you funny years ago. The only few black folks who are watching your content and laughing at your comedy specials are the cishet men who don't believe in washing their ass. Everybody else ain't interested in it, girl. It's giving lackluster. The last one that you did for Netflix, the girl said that shit was whack. Like everybody said it was whack. You have lost you're not authentic anymore. Like that's what happens with a lot of y'all, you know, comedians. Like y'all were picking on low-hanging fruit. You were never funny. The jokes that you were making were not even well thought out. You were talking about some stuff that a lot of black folks can relate to on a bigger scale. Like, girl, there are millions of Instagram comedians right now that will put your career to shame if they had the same access and resources that you have right now. So Kevin Hart, like, you out here tap dancing for white folks, and a lot of black people have picked up on that, and they're not finding you funny anymore. So to bring folks up to speed, because I know I'm dragging, Kevin Hart came out talking about cancel culture and how it affects the content and the new stuff that is coming out, and that's why it's so hard for comedians and everybody else to be able to produce stuff, because it's just like they're fearful of what they're going to say and whatever. So he spoke about all of this in the interview, and the backlash that he got a couple years ago from queer folks coming out and saying, hey, that joke that you made about beating your child because they're like gay or whatever, that was problematic, because a lot of queer folks have experienced that. There are queer children who are experiencing that. There are queer teenagers who are dying by suicide by being bullied and experiencing harm for being queer in their households by their parents. That's the conversation, but y'all are not interested in that. You're just like, why can't I make these jokes about marginalized folks? Why can't I give these low-hanging fruit jokes and make people laugh? And it's just like, no, you can't. I mean, you can, but we're not going to support that. And that's what happened when them girls said, girl, we don't want you to host the show. So Kevin Hart has been mad about that for years. Keep in mind, Kevin Hart has still been tap dancing up and down the street doing Capital One silver card commercials. So he's not lost a bag. He even got on Twitter and started to talk about his comedy show, how much money he produced from it, how much money he got from these box office hit movies that he's been in. All of those things, like, that's the point that we've been trying to make to your short ass. That's the point. That's the point that we've been trying to make to you, the same person that made yourself tall in a picture with your wife. That's the point that we've been trying to make to you, is that cancel culture is not a real thing. Y'all don't get canceled. The only folks who get canceled are black marginalized folks. That's the only people. Chrisette Michelle is the only person I can name off the top of my head that did experience some cancellation. And you know what? It wasn't even a cancellation. She was already canceled for being a black woman, period. So marginalized people are experiencing that because they never had the ability to not be canceled because they were not even existing. That's why when you talk about cancel culture, it doesn't make sense because y'all are not stopped making jokes about trans folks. David Chappelle was out here making jokes about the LGBTQ, whatever. He was out here, they still getting Netflix specials, still getting deals, making jokes about trans folks, still getting deals. Like, y'all cis-het men, black men, I'm speaking to y'all, y'all are still making money. Y'all are still out here doing 50 Cent that said how much trash stuff and talked about how many black women and still out here getting deals. That's what we're talking about. Cancel culture isn't a thing. Y'all, I don't know what it is about y'all. Maybe y'all feel like that y'all, are about like this stuff that makes y'all money, that y'all whole identity can disappear like that if enough people are not interested in it. But y'all are not losing no coin. You just have an active base of folks who are coming at y'all and saying, hey, this is not right. And I'm not giving Kevin Hart no more grace. I haven't gave Kevin Hart no grace since he was talking about basketball players' hair being nappy on the field or whatever it's called, like on the court. Like I haven't, like since then I've been smelling his anti-blackness. Since his whole situation with his previous ex-wife, the dark-skinned black woman he was with, who had kids with, who he's continuously disrespected, because I think he was out here telling jokes about her and their relationship too and made money. Kevin Hart, you have literally made majority of your money, majority of your stuff talking about the trauma that you have given and made black women experience. You took your whole cheating situation and you turned it into a tour. And you made money off of it. You made money off of talking about cheating on your wife. Let that sink in. There are not, I can't name one woman, one female comedian that is on your level that can go out here and talk about cheating on their husband and their husband stays and they're out here booking out, sold out shows that talking about this. You're not being counseled. What you're being, honestly, is called in. That's all you're being, is like folks are calling you in and letting you know, like, hey, this ain't it, like, I don't like this, and this is how it makes me feel. These communities that you have said, made jokes about and made profit off of talking about them, they're coming out and saying that you're no better than the white folks that was out here doing comedian shows in blackface. That's the same, like this stuff is just re-evolving into something else. It's reshaping into something else. Like y'all don't think like comedy grows, our level of thinking hopefully will grow and we will understand, hey, that offended such and such. There are some videos that I have done, especially with reviewing Real Housewives of Atlanta, that I made some comments about some women that I cringe even watching it. And I refuse to take those videos down because I want people to know where I was and where I am at now and where I'm headed to currently. So you learn and you grow and you adapt. That's what makes you an entertainer or whatever. That's what makes you a comedian. Like even the greats, like Eddie Murphy has acknowledged that, hey, some of the stuff I said was extremely trash and I apologize for that and moved on. And when being called out about it, Eddie Murphy continues. Eddie Murphy is where you want to be at. Eddie Murphy is one of the great comedians that has a track record of some like good ass like movies. Kevin Hart, I'm gonna be honest, like the movie you did about with the handicap stuff, I'm not watching that shit. That's some shit that like, I'm not watching that. You got some other movies and stuff. I'm not, black folks ain't watching that. In the hole. Girl, that's Billy and Tommy going to see that. We're not watching that. We missed the real stuff that you were talking about, but you're not able to talk about that no more because you're not connected to that. You're not connected to the culture. You're still trying to hold on to what you think makes the culture, which is jokes about queer folks and jokes about this and that. It's just like, no. So Kevin Hart, you can go on and make jokes and do whatever, but just know that we're still going to be out here talking about these things and we're going to still continue to call you out. So for you to talk about something when nobody's perfect, what do you mean? So you It's not even about being perfect. People acknowledge that they're not perfect by naming that they said something that was not right and apologizing for it. What you're doing is you're saying something that is not right, you realize that it is wrong, and you want to continue to do it and make money off of it. That's the difference. So yes, there are some, like, nobody's perfect. But what we should be striving for is making jokes and making content and stuff that is not dehumanizing and affecting marginalized folks. That's what we should be doing. It's the same conversation with In the Heights and the colorism that went on with that. Acknowledge that this stuff has been happening, it's wrong, fix it. That's what's going on. So it's not cancel culture. Like if we want, like cancel, the stuff that you want to call cancel culture has been going on for the longest. You all make profit off of us consuming the stuff that you create and put out. That's how you make profit. If we're not going out and consuming and doing your stuff, the Capital One is not going to be out here paying you no money to be out here tap dancing with white folks in the commercial telling us charge it up. We make you don't make your money. We make your money for you by consuming your stuff. And the folks who are consuming your stuff are letting you know, hey, I'm not feeling this. What you are aware of is that we have a voice, and our voice is powerful, and it could possibly make you miss out on some money. That's what you're aware of. You're scared because you know the folks that you have like dug and did all this other stuff do have enough voice to be able to counsel a couple of things. But overall, cancel culture does not affect people like you. It's not a real thing. If that was the case, the United States of America would be canceled. If that was the case, all these other presidents would be canceled. We don't have the power to do that yet. But I can't wait till we do. Period. So that's all I got to say about Kevin Hart. I'm just tired of he just has little dog syndrome. He has this Napoleon complex where instead of just ignoring, I couldn't imagine, I'm gonna end this, I couldn't imagine being worth that much money and be so concerned with everything that people are saying about me. I couldn't imagine. Like I really don't get you celebrities sometimes. Like y'all be worth millions of dollars. Like do not have to worry about like making payment arrangement for your light bill, for your car note. Do not have to worry about any of these things, but are out here pressed about what folks are saying about you online to the point that you've got to bring screenshots of how much money your box office has made off of your movie and stuff. Like that you have an issue, sis, and you might need to go seek you need to take the millions of dollars and go seek you some therapy because ain't nothing good about that. And that's all I have to say, girl. Y'all let me know what y'all feel about Kevin Hart and this mess. But girl, I would never ever support a Kevin Hart project ever again in my life. You're canceled to me, and that's on period.